So theater, film, how about a TV role?
Oh, TV role. What should I have fun? It's got to be the Davis, playing Davis in live and in movie form, and also animated. So we got to play all three, all the cast were the same all through that. So it was great to play with my friends again, and it just got the writers got funnier and wilder as the animation went on. They were unleashed, so there was a lot of crazy things going on, and Sasquatch and an alien fighting, or a unicorn and a Sasquatch fighting. It was like, yeah, sure, why not? All they have to do is draw it. They don't have to build it. So yeah, so they were. It was quite fun. It was quite fun being in the studio with the gang.
And then you got to do it live on location, live on set for the live series.
Yeah.
And then the film, and
we
then
did a film.
Animated. That's quite something.
Yeah, it is quite something to know that I'll be slim and pretty forever in the animated version. And we also did a live table read one time, and I think it was for a charity or something, but we did a live table read in Toronto at some theater, and we sold out. It sold out really quickly, and we had diehard fans fly in from like Minnesota. One person was saying, somebody came in from Florida because they heard about it and said, well, I got to get up to Toronto. So they came and saw us read a script live, and that was exciting. That was fun.
Let me find one. I'm going to try to throw you a curve.
Oh, here comes a curve.
What is your strangest fan encounter?
My strangest fan encounter. I think, and it's actually, I surprised the fan more than anything, because it was in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. We were walking. We were there.
Was that at the mall?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
We're doing some shopping at Portage Place Mall. I had to go pick something up for a hosting gig I was doing in Winnipeg, and they needed something, tie or belt or something like that. Yeah, we went to Harry. Yeah, it was on our way to a Harry Rosen shopathon to get some accessories.
Yeah.
But as we were coming up, I saw this guy outside the mall on his phone, and he turned and he was wearing a Corner Gas t-shirt. And I thought it was cool. And so I thought I'd go up to him and just surprise him a little bit. And he was on his phone, very intense in a conversation. I said, hey, buddy, nice shirt. And he went, what? And he looked at it. Click. Hey, whoever he was, he hung up on whoever he was talking, got excited, and we were like, hey, I was just saying, and he was like, oh my God, it's my favorite show, and hey, let's take a picture. So we took a picture, and he was just very excited, and I just surprised him.
Say goodbye.
No,
there was not even sound. He just slammed his flip phone.
Yeah.
Just slammed shut.
Yeah, not even a goodbye, just kind of click, and oh my God. And of course, he said, you're one of my favorite characters. So. But that was fun. And the other one was when we were walking in Davies Street. That was a strange encounter. We were passing this older lady, very prim and proper. She had her ascot on, and she had a walking stick, and her hair was done up in a bun, kind of ballet. It reminded me of an ex-ballerina, right? She had that stature about her, royalty, regal.
Courage.
Yeah, and she came striding by, and then she locked eyes and went, oh my God, it's you, oh my God, and oh my God, you're one of my favorites, oh my God, oh. It just totally, the whole facade fell away, and she was just giddy, this giddy young girl she became, and it was quite cute and endearing.
Take a moment for my strangest fan encounter with your fans. Which I love. I think the biggest part was getting used to the double takes.
Oh yeah.
And I always thought I had toilet paper hanging out of my pants. It's
Yeah.
like, oh right, they're looking at you.
Yeah.
But remember going to Prince George?
Oh yeah.
The bookstore.
That
And we're
late.
off looking at a book. My mom's off talking to the owner of the bookstore, who's an acquaintance of hers. And then next thing you know, oh my God, and she comes over and she basically straight arm, like the Heisman Trophy, Heismans me out of the way,
Yeah.
and then comes up and wraps her leg around you.
Like she almost climbed me. She was like a little gal, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite." I'm like, can we get her? Yeah, nice to meet you. Can you get off me? Yeah.
And then I said,
Nice.
You're gonna have to wrestle me to take him. Oh, I can't. And I just said, well, he's coming home with me. And my mom's standing there,
Yeah.
agog. She didn't realize, but that was pretty.
Well,
that
this
was
whole
fun.
this whole fan recognition thing, or people just recognize me from Corner Gas, started very dribs and drabs, very slowly. I remember when I was living in Toronto, I was walking back from the grocery store, and I had 2 bags of groceries, and I'm walking back, and somebody came walking by, going, hey, just pointing and laughing at me, and I was kind of like looking at my fly, make sure it was done up, and going like, what the? And he goes, and I was like, oh, it must be show related. And then he graduated to, hey, you're that guy from that show. And then it was, hey, Davis. And then it was, and then eventually it became, hey, you're Lorne Cardinal, aren't you? And it was like, yeah. So the progression was pretty awesome.
It's been fun for me. We get to do some really cool things.
And it's surprising.
I have to learn how to not offer you up all the time because I see them looking and I'm like, yes, it is.
And it's surprising where it happens. I remember going to Cape Breton one time to fly, and I was doing an event there, and I flew into Cape Breton, and the security guys, all of a sudden, they saw me, and they stopped me, and I went, oh my God, here I'm going to get all my stuff tossed for some reason. They were like, no, they were just big fans of the show, and I reminded them of the guy they worked with at the airport, and so I ended up taking pictures of me frisking them. While people were going through security, they were like, hey, and do the handcuff one where you can put me in. Like, okay, guys, sure. Oops. Yeah, it was surprising and fun as well.
Nice. I was thinking of some other ones, but I was thinking of the ones where we had hoped that the people that we encountered would be super fans, and where it didn't bode well or it didn't work out the way that we had hoped. One of them was our first Christmas together when you were speeding, driving my Jeep.
That cop did his job and didn't bite at all, even though I had the DVD out, my 8x10 on the dash. You kind of, hey, maybe you remind, you've seen me in a show. I played a cop too, and you're like, yeah, rip. It happened once to me on the way when I was speeding accidentally down the highway. I had to get to. I was driving in from Toronto, going to Regina for our first day of season 2 or 3 or something like that, and we had to read through that day. And I was leaving I was still in Manitoba, and I had to get to Regina, and I had about 3 hours to do it. So I was like pedal to the metal, and I got pulled over by a guy, and he came sauntering up, and he, where are you going so fast? And I was going like, sorry, I'm working on this show, and we're having our first read through, and he's looking over, he goes, oh yeah? He goes, yeah, I can let you go if you do one thing. And I go, what's that? And he goes, you just sign this and make it out to Sergeant Harper, and that'd be awesome. And I went, oh, yeah, okay. He says, hey, I'm heading to Regina too, so just slow her down. If you pass me, I'm going to have to give you a ticket. And I went, yeah, no problem. So I just followed him all the way in.
I'm just going to take a little.
So that's when the being noticed paid off. It was awful nice of him to let me go with a warning. But I did the speed limit the rest of the way, and then I automatically went to buy a radar detector.
We aren't. I was gonna say we're not encouraging speeding.
No.
And we're not encouraging the use of radar detectors to avoid.
In some provinces, it's illegal, like Ontario. But BC, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, it's fine.
Let's just not get into legal territory. Okay?
No, I'm not prescribing anything.
Okay, let's move on. You share January 6th birthday with quite a strange number high number of people. Can you say who else you share the birthday with?
My scene partner on Corner Gas, Tara Spencer-Nairn, fellow left-hander. She's a bit younger, but we're born the same date. But she's another one of my birthday compadres that I phone up on our birthdays and make sure she's being treated properly.
Car number 2.
And feted. And she's always car number 2, so she can try as hard as she wants. But
what annoys you the most?
Selfish people, selfish actors, selfish people who don't consider others it's not that hard to be nice, and it may take a bit of work for some people to be non-selfish. To be unselfish is the word. to be unselfish, to think of others, to see if you can help somebody else who, that's why I've always got time to say hi to people. People who recognize me, I'll always make time to say, hey, hi, I recognize them as another human being and say, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Because you could make the day, you have no idea what they're going through. They could be having the worst day of their life, and all you got to say is hi and take a second to acknowledge them and see them, and that could make a big difference. And I've had that experience too as well.
Oh, I'm tearing up thinking of some of the things that we've received from people about somebody having brain surgery or losing somebody.
Yeah.
Like this last year for us has been really hard, and I think about how much having distraction and smiles and things helps you through the toughest times, and it's been quite profound reading the effects that your work has had on so many people. It's quite a privilege. So you've kind of already answered, I think, this a little bit, but what do you think's an important trait for an actor to have?
Curiosity and fearlessness. There's two. But if you're going to go with either one, I would say curiosity. Always be curious. Always go, how does this work? How can I do this? How can I make this better? How can I make the story come alive more? What can I do? Be curious. And research, because then that way it keeps your projects fresh. You get more knowledge by keeping abreast of science and politics and fashion and all these things. Just stay curious. Science.
Is there a show that you'd like to guest star on, or shows?
Oh, there's a bunch of shows. I wouldn't mind anything by, these days it turns out to be Taylor Sheridan's written a lot of the shows that I like. Landman. I'd love to hang out with Billy Bob Thornton as well. Because he's, again, I had one scene with him, and he was just a generous guy to work with on Fargo season 1.
And what happened in that scene?
Well, he was in that scene. Billy Bob was playing a dentist, and I was in his chair, and he was drilling. So the episode opens with the camera starting inside of my mouth. And I was really lucky because the camera operator is a friend of mine from Corner Gas, Daryl Hartwell. And he's on a camera, and he goes, "Hey, buddy," and I go, "Hey," and he goes, "We want to start you in the chair." And I said, "Yeah, okay." He says, "What do you think about shooting inside your mouth?" And I went, "Let's do it." And he goes, "Okay." So he gets on the extender stuff, and they put it, and they start in the back of my throat, and the camera pulls out and pulls out, and there I am in the chair.
We get a very close look at your uvula.
Yeah. But Billy Bob was great, and they had an actual dentist on standby as a consultant. So Billy Bob was there. He says, "What can I do? What can I do that makes it look like I'm doing some dental work?" And the guy comes in, and I don't know who the guy was, but he brought he had an entourage, this dentist consultant. So he shows up with his wife and kids and a couple other people behind him to watch him work on set, because now he's a star, right? So he comes in there and he goes, "Well, you got to do this. You got to put on the mask and the shield, and you got to wear these gloves." And so I'm lying there and I'm going, there's a mask covering my face, and then the shield on top of that as well. And then he's got these gloves, and he's have this thing that's covering my, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to be under, and it's not my scene. So I'm just kind of biding my time to find the right time to say to the director, "I'm not wearing any of this gack." There's no way, and that's a polite word, gack. But Billy Bob was kind of like, he goes, I'm not going to do that. I'm not really filling teeth. You know that, right? I just need something that looks like it. There's a blue light. He says, "What if I just tap this blue light around with that?" And he goes like, "Yeah, well, I guess you can do that. But if you want to put the metal frame over the clip of the tooth," he goes, "I'm not doing that. I'm not going to clip this metal tooth thing on a actor's." He says, "No, I'm just going to tap this blue light around, and then we'll say our lines, and then then he can spit and rinse." And I go like, "Yes, thank you, Billy. I'll do that." And he goes, "Oh, yeah, but you should wear the shield and the mask and stuff." And I go, "Oh, yeah." So he leaves, and I go to the director. I go, "I'm not wearing any of this stuff. You're covering up my face. Why am I on camera if I'm not going to see my face?" So I said, "No, I'm just going to let Billy Bob do the blue lights and tap around a bit, and that'll be good."
And have have Daryl get close in
Yeah.
on your uvula
Yeah,
and your molars, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
Yeah. So it was great. It was great. Billy Bob putting it. They're not really filling teeth. I just need something to look like I'm doing something. So he was very cool. Very cool, generous cat.
I don't know if you felt the lights change. The backlight
Ah.
battery went.
Oh,
So
good to know.
there's a reason why we'll consider this. We've been at this a bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't get through all the questions.
Ooh.
We'll stop here, but
Yeah.
we'll do more of these, and then anything that anyone has any questions
Yeah, if
about.
anybody out there has a particular question they want me to answer, drop it in our comments section, and we'd love to get to it, and we'll
Yeah.
answer it in the next one. Well, I appreciate everyone's time. I hope you guys stayed for the ride, and thanks very much for joining us for this Get to Know Lorne Better. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yay.
Ah, yay!
Thanks,
Job,
sweets.
sweets.
And off.
Yikes. The questions are just to get to know me better, right?
Sure.
Okay.
And I might throw in some secret surprise.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, right,
Yeah.
get to know you better. Where did we see this one before?
The Larry King show when he asks his guests
If you
pop
only
quizzes.
knew.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
only knew.